Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the class. And today, I hope you're doing very well, and you understood about formal letters and formal emails, and you are all set to start with a new chapter, which is again very important for your professional world. Okay, for your business world, all of this is very important, and we will be starting with resume writing today. Right. So let me wait and see how many of you have joined. And kindly let me go. And if you have any problem with letters and emails, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll start with today's lecture. Okay, so many of you have joined. Very nice. Somebody is asking me about CA course. What do you want me to tell you about CA course? And I'm not the correct person for that. I only teach this subject. Any problem? So far about formal letters and formal emails. No problem at all. Yeah, Nishi, it's raining everywhere. Okay, let's start with today's lecture then. Today's lecture is about resume writing. Now let's understand what resume is, the word resume. Now, do you have any idea about what resume is? Can you please share with me whatever you know about what resume is? What resume is? Kuch bhi dekhi, if everything is clear. What do you all understand about resume? May examination CA foundation classes will, these classes for December attempt. And that has to be after that only. No, Saloni. First you send the resume, then you get the offer of a job. If everything is okay. Document that represents background skills, okay, that basically tells about your education qualification and if you have any prior experience. your education, your professional details, yes, or any of your any other achievement, anything that you mention about. A summary of your work profile. Okay, no. You all may be correct by like 5%, but no. Okay, let's start with what resume writing is. Let me explain you. Our resume is basically a document, okay, that introduces you to the prospective employer or trainer where you're going to apply your job for. Yes, so it's a document that introduces you. Now, when I say introduces you, it basically tells who you are, what you have done, and why they should hire you. These three things are very important for your resume to answer: that who you are, what you have done, and why they should hire you. Like, so your basically resume should be able to answer these three questions. If you're not able to answer these three questions, that means your resume is incomplete. Now, there is no need for a trainer or employer to know absolutely everything about you. Like, they don't want to know which car you have or what you do, what is your, sometimes people write about their hobbies also, but I don't think that's a good thing unless you're talking about reading or if there is any specific sports that you like. What you need to show or tell them is that why you are suitable for the job. That means what skills, what knowledge, what understanding, and what personality traits you have, which is perfect for this job. Now, this resume is a very tricky document that has to be written very, careful. It has to be very carefully crafted document, which basically tells about what qualities you have, what skills you have, and why your skills and your qualities are perfect for the job that you're applying for. Right? Now, for example, it's a very simple example. You are applying for the post of English teacher. Yes. And your resume is talking about your sports experience. Yes. So do you think that will match? No. Do you think the skills and the qualities will match what is required for being an English teacher, subject teacher, and sports teacher? And forget sports teacher. Maybe you are good with maths, but the vacancy is for English teacher. And all your experience and all your qualities and skills say that you're a good maths teacher, right? So do you think your resume will be shortlisted for English teacher? No, right? So you have to present your skills in such certain way that people actually select you for the interview. The resume is a first step. First time people get to know about you. So it has to be very carefully done. It should basically give an impression to the employer that you are interested in this job and you're perfect for this job. You should be given a chance for the interview and you should be selected also, right? That is a mindset that you should have while crafting your resume, right? Now, there is an extreme importance that you choose what you write resume. Are we clear? Yes, you understand what resume is? The resume is basically a document that tells about who you are, what you have done, and why they should hire you. Three things that they should answer you. Can you please repeat these three things in the query box? What resume should be able to answer? What are the three things that resume should answer? Tell me the three things. Tanisha, I'm not a good person to answer that. Please ask the institute people. Please send an email to the institute, to the concerned person. They will be able to answer you this. And these classes are for December attempt, basically. Good home. Very good. Very good, Videhi. What three things your resume should be able to answer? Who you are, what you've done, and why they should select you. All right, good. Yes. So, yes, perfect. Now, this is what this is. And next thing is what your resume basically tells about you. That what skills you possess, what qualities you have, and why you're perfect for this job. Are we clear? All right. Now, let's look at that. Now, what good resume looks like. Let's see. Now, why your resume should be good and what is the importance and, you know, now resume is basically the first document that somebody sees about you. So basically your resume creates their first impression. Now, first impression is the last impression, we all know, right? So if you, so if your resume is crafted carefully, that means the person will have a good impression about you. Now, how can you create a good impression in first instance? You can only do it if your content is good, if your presentation is good. You know, there's so many types of formats available for resume writing, and we will be discussing few formats. Now, how you present your skills and how you present your qualifications, it actually matters a lot, right? And about your presentation and what all things you highlight. Sometimes what happens is maybe you have good qualities and you have skills and you have good qualification. But you do not, basically, you're not able to showcase your skills and your qualities that is required. All right. Okay. So you have to make an impression also. Now, why you have to make an impression is to have a best possible chance of getting your employer's attention, right? When you basically somebody comes out with a job offer, the person gets about like thousands of resumes, right? So they cannot call everyone for the interview and test everyone. So half of the people are filtered based on the resume, right? So these are three things that they look. What I have told you, they look for it. Why they should hire you? What skills you have? What qualities you have? So if you're not able to present that very well, then your resume will be rejected right there, and there won't be an interview call, no matter how good you are, right? They don't know you. They've not met you. So the only thing that tells them about you is the resume. So that has to be very nicely done, so that your resume is at least considered or shortlisted for the interview. Are we clear? Any questions so far? Any questions? Anyone? Is the audio not clear? Marks for resume writing, I think again one question for 4-5 marks, not more than that. Amit, yes, hobby is optional in resume writing. Not everybody has to write that. Second is, can you design the resume? You have to follow some specific formats. Don't just write or do anything. Okay. Is my voice is my voice not clear in the audio? Any problems? Because there's some people who are complaining about the voice, about the audio. Okay, 3 of you have said that it's clear. There's no problem. Janvi, please check your system because nobody else is complaining about it. Everybody says it's clear. Shuchang, we will discuss about it. All right. Now let's discuss further. Now, like I said, the market is very competitive. For one vacancy, for when there's a vacancy in an organization, the organization and employer receives about like so many, like about, even if there are 500 resumes, imagine selecting one person out of that 500, right? So you shortlist about like 20-25 resumes and say that, okay, we're going to interview them and select one out of them. right? Now to get to the list of 25 or 30 resumes, the shortlisted ones, your resume should be presentable enough, right? And should be able to answer all the questions to the employer. So what happens is that when you're applying for the job, go through your resume once and see, because what happens in the starting of the career, you might have different job profiles that you think that you want to try, right? Because you're not sure of what you will like in the end and you want to take an experience of everything. So your resume would need some alterations for every job profile because everything would be different. Everybody will have a different demand from you. Like for example, in the sales and marketing jobs, there's so many different kinds of things that you can do, right? And you don't know what you're going to be good at, and you want to basically test all the waters and before deciding for yourself that what you would like it eventually, right? So whenever you're applying for different job profiles, I'm sure your resume will require a few alterations so that you can basically fit into that job profile, what they're asking for, right? Okay. Okay. Now, next term is that in resume writing, along with your resume, there is one thing that goes along with it, which is a cover letter. Now, what is a cover letter? Who's going to tell me? Okay, is the voice better now? I was just getting the doors closed so that you have less disturbance. Cover letter is a job letter. Okay. 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 That goes with the resume. It is basically few words that goes along with the resume that basically reflects your knowledge about the employer or trainer. Yeah, maybe. And I'm so sorry I have to mute again and again. It is my daughter who keeps moving around. Yeah, okay. So it reflects your knowledge about the employer or the trainer. In the resume, you basically, in the cover letter, you basically introduce yourself and then you tell about your knowledge about the employer or trainer. Then next thing is, yeah, it's kind of a short introduction, yes. It's not a job application letter. Yeah, it's kind of a letter, but yeah, it also goes in the form of emails also. When you're sending out your email resume through emails, you have to write a cover letter, which is like you have to write the email in the text only, that what this resume is about. So basically the purpose is to introduce you to the organization. You convey your interest in the company. You tell about it. How do you get to know about this person, or how do you know about this company, and how much interested you are to work with them, So the purpose is this, and the purpose is to draw attention to your resume. So in the cover letter, you can mention 1 or 2 lines about yourself, which is very interesting about yourself, so that people are interested to look at your resume also. And sometimes what happens is when we get the resumes, we see there's no cover letter, there's nothing. And when there's no cover letter, you don't even feel like opening the resume, because it's so much of an effort to open the resume and see how the person is. Of course, we do open it, but it's not a good impression when especially when you send it by an email. When the email has nothing else, just the resume, it is not good. It doesn't create a good impression. You need to write what this resume is about. Why are you sending a resume? And why are you interested to join this company? And why someone should open your resume? Sometimes what happens is the cover letter tells you that this resume is not good enough for you, so you don't open the resume. Yeah, because in that case, the cover letter is not well written. Cover letter should be neatly written, it should be concisely written, and it should be well written. Yes. Concise, because it is a cover letter. You don't have to write entire resume in the text, in the letter form, right? So you just have to brief about how do you know about this job. Who are you? Introduce yourself, and you have to express your interest in the company. Draw attention, like you have to write 1 or 2 lines about yourself in a way that people are interested to read your resume. Okay, it should be neat, well written, and concise. All right, have you understood about resume writing? Any problems? Okay, now quickly tell me what you understood about the cover letter. What is the purpose of cover letter? What do you understand about SWOT analysis? Oh, sorry, about the cover letter. Okay. Okay, so I've got fair enough responses about what cover letter is and what is the purpose of cover letter. Now let's start with that, how you basically design your resume, how to craft your resume, right? There is one strategic analysis that you should do for yourself and see how you can use that in crafting your resume, which actually tells you a lot about yourself. So we're going to do a study about an analysis, which is so good to understand yourself, which is so good to see what is your basically strong points, which are your weak points, which are the points that needs to be worked, which is something that basically stops you to achieve something. So we understand about yourself with this analysis. It's called SWOT analysis, which is a strategic planning technique that makes you identify your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. I'm just going to share the screen with you. Okay, can you see that? Now, this is how you prepare a SWOT analysis. Now, you have a box which tells about your strength. Now, strength is what are the points about yourself which are helpful to achieve your goal or your objective. What is something that is good about yourself? Now, these strengths are basically your inherent acquired abilities, opportunities in terms of academic and professional backgrounds. Am I clear? Yes. Then you talk about your weaknesses. Now, these both things are basically your internal factors, something that is internal that you need to see what is something that is good for you and what is not good for you. What are the qualities that makes you strong and what are the qualities that makes you weak, right? So basically you weigh down both the segments, and your opportunities and your threats are basically external factors. Now, what are opportunities you have in hand and you have got in past, and threats is what is something that helps, what is becomes your hurdle, yes, to reach to your goal. Am I clear? Now, strengths and opportunities basically is something that tells you about that how you can utilize your strengths to leverage your opportunities. Now, how you can use your strengths to make it good for you and grab the opportunities. But weaknesses and threats basically gives you a reality check about yourself. Now, weaknesses tell you that how you are weak and how this thing can stop you and create a threat for you to reach to your opportunity. So basically you get a grip of yourself. Okay, and then you see what you can do to improve it. Am I clear? Now, after this analysis, it becomes very easy for you to see what you need to basically highlight in your resume. What are the skills and abilities that you need to highlight, right? The other thing is, yeah, you can also map your qualities and you can see what opportunities are available in the market for you. What are the requirements for that opportunity? So now, if you have an opportunity in hand and you know your strengths also, so you see that for this opportunity, what all you need. Yes, am I clear? Right. And at the same time, for those opportunities and for strengths also, what is something that can be a threat to you, something that can take away your opportunity, and if there is a weakness that you can overcome for that particular opportunity, what is that? So this basically what I'm trying to say here is that this kind of analysis makes it easy for you to understand and to get your opportunity very quickly. Are we clear? Yes. If I tell you to do a SWOT analysis of yourself, can you do that? Yes. Can you talk about your strengths and weaknesses? What is your strength and what is your weakness? Let's talk about these two things first, because these things are internal, right? You need to know about yourself that this is my strength and this is my weakness. Tell me what is your strength and weakness. Let's see. Let's see how much you know yourself. Now, for example, in your case, you guys are appearing for CA foundation exam and you guys going to be CAs in few years. Yeah. Now, today at present, if I ask you to do a SWOT analysis of yourself, keeping objective in mind that you want to be CA once, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? What opportunities you have in hand and what can be the threats for you to reach your goal? Let's see what you answer here. Keeping being a CA a goal in your mind. Let's see how much you know yourself. See, Punjabi, as if you don't know yourself much. You see your strength is CA career. You don't have a career yet in CA. You are at the first level. And what is your weakness? This too. How? Now somebody said, which is so nicely done. Somebody says that my strength is that I can grasp and retain concepts very quickly. And my weakness is that time management. I fail to do a time management. Fair enough. This is a good way of putting it together. Okay, let me tell you something more about strengths and weaknesses. Now, strengths and weaknesses both are our internal factors that causes within ourselves. Okay, now strength is basically the strong or positive characteristic of yourself. What are the qualities of yourself? Like you are, confident, you're determined, you are focused, and your weakness could be you procrastinate a lot, you are lazy, you are external factors. Now, opportunities are that depends the what are circumstances that can help you to achieve your goal. And this is the opportunity. Threat is the factors that can cause the risk of achieving the goals. Are we clear? Yes? Okay, now tell me about yourself. Alavi, my question is that if you do a SWOT analysis for your career in CA, like you're going to build a CA, so your answer is not appropriate for that. You have to tell me what core characteristics you have or what qualities you have that you think can help you to become CA one day. Good Chanchal. So Chanchal says that I have good concentration. I can study more in less time and I can maintain a consistency. Very good, right? But Chanchal also feels that her weakness is that she cannot study at night because at night she feels lazy. So maybe you're a morning person, Chanchal. That's a good thing that in the morning you wake up early and study. Like I am a night person. Like I can only study at night. I cannot study in the morning. good. You are social, you're confident, and you are opportunistic. Basically, you find opportunities, you find something new, and you keep your interest alive. Which your weaknesses that you're foodie, how will that impact you to become a CA? And you're an extrovert. But now these qualities, do you think these qualities relate to my question? This is a general analysis about you. Now, if you ask me, what are the strengths and weaknesses that one can have and that can be a problem for being a CA? Strength is, of course, you need to be confident, you need to be consistent, you need to be attentive in understanding the goals. You should be ready to practice a lot to become a CA, right? And you understand your concepts very well. Those could be the strength. Now, weakness could be that you procrastinate a lot, you basically keep delaying things, and sometimes without understanding, you just start attempting the questions. That can be your weakness. Now, if you talk about the opportunities, now opportunities can be you have good faculty that can help you to achieve your goals, right? You have good articleship. You've applied for the good articleships which can help you to give you a practical knowledge, and you can become good CAs. Yes, that's the opportunity that you can get, and that can help you to become good CAs. Now, threats are basically unexpected, maybe what can be the threats for you to become a successful CA? Maybe changing situations. Sometimes what happens is, unfortunately, some people fall sick at times, or some unfortunate incidents. And maybe you get into your articleship and you are so engrossed in it that you are not left with much time for your studies also. That can be a threat too at times if you get too much into work. Right? So you have to weigh down your own strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Now, it's a very good exercise to do at every step of life, because this basically gives you a clarity about the situations. Now, this can fit into anything, right? I'm going to show you one more SWOT analysis, which is basically sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot that I'm on mute. Okay, the strength is basically in a company. Now, this is a SWOT analysis of a company, how they can reach to a goal. Now, this strength is, of course, talking about your personal characteristics. What is the strong and positive characteristic of a company? For example, the strength of this company is the company culture and human resources, basically. Human resources are good people working, and they are, they're ready to do anything. But at the same time, the weakness of the company is less skilled workforce. Okay, and shortage of raw material. The people who are actually supposed to put it to work, they are less. Now, the opportunity in the that this company has is that circumstances that can help the company expand its size and revenue, like growth in demand, relaxed trade laws. Now, these are opportunities that somebody can get. But the threats are factors that could pose a risk at the company's success, that is low economic development, changing climatic conditions. Now, these are threats. Like, for example, some businesses are seasonal, right? So they have threats with the seasonal, that if the season changes unexpectedly, their work will be suffered. Am I clear? Now, this is what the SWOT analysis is. Are we clear about the situation now? Can we move ahead? Mohit, I'm not a CA. Threats are the risks that you can face. What can basically something that threat is basically something that can harm you before in achieving your goal. Are we clear? Now quickly tell me. Quickly, guys. Okay, perfect. Now let's move ahead. The next thing that you need to do is, now we're going to study about the different formats of resume writing. Now few formats. So I'll just tell you the name of the types of formats so that we can know what we're going to study in the second half of the lecture. Okay, so the first half, say, in the first half, we'll be covering the names. The names is chronological resume. Chronological resume basically, it lists your work in a chronological order. In the reverse way. So you talk about your latest work first and then you move backwards. Basically, if your professional experience we're talking about, you talk about what latest you are doing and then you move backwards. You don't start with what you did first and then list down to your latest one. You basically do it opposite wise. Right? Now, each type of resume has a different focus. Some will focus on the number of companies that you worked with, will focus on your skills more. So every resume has their own purpose. Now, it depends on how you select your resume. Are we clear? So we have chronological and we have functional resumes. And then there is a combination resume, which has basically both. Are we clear? Okay, now quickly tell me the what you understand about so far. How many headings are there in the resume writing? What all headings? What are the headings of resume writing? In resume, what all you need to cover about yourself? Tell me what all will you write in your resume? What all headings can you give? Yes, Shrishank, they do. SWOT analysis is a very important part. I'm sure you study about it in other topics also. Personal details, career objectives, technical skills, personal skills, education, achievement. All right. Skills, knowledge, experience. Of course, personal details are very important. Your name, your date of birth, address, your phone number, your email ID. That is very important for the job, for your resume. Career objective, technical skills, personal skills. All right. So you fairly know. Now let's take a 5 minutes break and come back, and then we'll start with the types of formats of resumes, and we'll be studying about it too at length. All right. Okay. Take a 5 minutes break and come back soon. Okay, so let's start with the types of format. It's a scoring topic, not subject. Resume is not a subject, it's a topic. Okay, should we start? Yeah, so I want you to look at this resume first. I'm going to pick up from your study material only example. One, because this is too long. And second, you would have your own resumes with you, like your own study materials with you. So it's easy for you to catch up, even if you're not able to read it from the screen. Now, here, this one, it's on the page number 12.5. The first sample says it's a chronological format, right? Now, what is chronological format? The first, your details are there. You need your address, phone number, and email ID. Then comes your objective. Now, objective is kind of very important for resumes because it tells about your mindset about the things. To be associated with an organization that will offer me tremendous opportunities for growth in career and provide a challenging environment that will utilize my accounting skills and abilities to the maximum. All right. So this is your objective. Then comes a summary. So in some resumes, we write a summary of what you have done. Now look at the summary, read it once for yourself. I'm going to just zoom it a bit more. Okay, now read the summary part. Now, in the summary, it is about the 13 years of experience, which is both practical and managerial aspects. It talks about that what quality and what expertise this person has. Now, what exceptionally good work he has done, what is the extensive experience about which thing, and the communication skills and comprehension and in-depth knowledge of foreign policies and this thing. Now, this is the resume of a chartered accountant. So, of course, if you see the summary and the skill sets, it's everything related to the same profession, right? Now, let's look at the experience. Now, experience says chartered accountant, so-and-so department, these many years, and, this is the address of the firm. And now what things you have done in that firm. Okay, what all experience? So, from 2004 to present. Now, that means you started working in this organization in 2004 and you're still working. Okay. So, look at the experience this person is talking about that this person has from his working here. Before that, from 2001 to 2004, when this person was interqualified chartered accountant, he worked with DTD, Direct Taxation Department, and in Goel and Associates Chartered Accountant, Pitampura, there he worked all of this, right? So he has 2 professional experiences, right? Then comes the education, which is again in a reversed chronological order: 2004 CA Final, 2001 CSE PCE, 1998 CSE PT, 2000 BCom pass, Hunstad College, Delhi University, 1997. Like go backwards. It's a reverse order. And you basically only talk about your class 10th, 12th, and then your graduation, your post-graduation, what all degrees you have. Am I clear? Right. In this case, the score is not written. In some cases, people write there, if they want to, they write their percentages also, if it's very good. Is this something to be very proud of? People do write. Then comes the skills. What is the basic skills this person has? Then comes the personal details. One second. You have to write personal details only once, either on the top or on the bottom, not both ways. About the address I'm talking about. Name, marital status, languages known you can write, but address, because you've written on the top, don't write it here. Then comes a declaration which says that as per my knowledge, the entire thing is me. All right, just look at this resume once for yourself. Okay, can you see the chronological order format? Now, so basically, what we know about chronological resume is that you have everything, your recent work history, your education history, everything. You know what chronological is, right? Chronological means in sequence. So in chronological resume, you make it reverse. Okay. In this way, you write your most recent work or your most recent education history on the top, and then you move backwards. Am I clear? Now, in this type of resume, you more emphasize on the job titles and employment history over your skills. What matters here is that where you have worked and what you have done and what is your job title. The skills is okay. That's not something that is really focused on. Clear, guys? Now, these are the subheadings of the chronological resume for students. Now, what happens is when as a student, you are applying somewhere, you have different categories because you don't have work experience, right? In your case, different things will be considered. Now, if you're sending resume for articleship, and if you want to change your articleship, or when students are applying for internships, so in that case, the resume is a little different because you don't have any real work experience. You talk about your co-curricular achievements, you talk about your training programs, your workshops, your strengths, your hobbies. But when you are you're already working, then the things change. Are we clear? Okay. So the first is name and contact details, then your objective summary. Then comes your academic qualification achievement. Now, achievement is basically if you've scored like amazing marks in class 10, 12, you have topped some subject in your this thing, then you should mention that. Then comes the co-curricular achievements, which is like if you have excelled in some debate competitions, your recitations, your sports, whatever. So that achievement should be focused because your those little achievements also say a lot about you and your characteristics. For example, if you are good with sports, then that tells you that how disciplined you are, how consistent you are, and you worked hard for it. Am I clear? Then comes the training programs, because I think in your CA course, you have training programs that you need to do, which is mandatory also. So you do that. Then comes the strengths, interests and hobbies, and then your personal skills. Clear? Any problem so far related to your this resume? Then next comes for the job applicants. which has basically name and contact details, objective summary, career summary, and then professional experience. In this case, you have company one, company two, which is job titles, and then your responsibilities and your achievements. Now look at it and tell me what is the difference between first format and second format. Now the job title and the responsibilities and achievements, because here when you are already working, the more focus is about what your work you have done in your previous company rather than what is your achievements in co-curricular. Nobody's interested in that. What matters is in your professional experience, what all you have done, what all responsibilities you have taken, and how well you have done in life, right? Then education details come. Hobbies, interests, and skills. These are optional. If you want to add, add. If you don't want to add, don't add. Okay, and comes the personal details. Personal details are what languages you know, what is your marital status, or what is your basically date of birth. So that is your personal details. Now, tell me about this. Are you clear about this format? Now, Jia, ideally, a good resume is the one which is the one page. Now, somebody has been asking me that what is the difference between CV and resume? Now, it's not a much difference. Both are basically prepared for apply for the job only. But CV can be a longish and it has more details about you. But resume has a maximum limit of 2 pages and not beyond that. But CV can be long. It has more details about your work experience and everything. Now, in your CV, you focus on your career, and that you only focus on your skills. And now in that, you only follow the chronological order, but here you can, you have different formats and you have different reasons to use those formats, but in CV, you just work detailed. It just goes on and on. This is why resumes are considered to be best, and people consider it more. Are we clear? Okay, now for you, the task. First, what you've understood about a chronological resume. And second, if you have to write about the chronological resume, how will you write? Quickly, what can be your career objective? If you have to write about your objective, what will it be? Yes, Gia, it will be specified if you're a student or you're already working somewhere. Chala, quickly tell me, if you have to write a resume, what will be the objective? I'm talking about the objective. To join the organization for growth and learning objectives. Okay, seeking a career with organizations. Good year to be associated with esteemed organization that will offer tremendous opportunity for growth in career and provides a challenging experience that will utilize my colleagues. All right, okay, now in yours, you've got a fair enough idea of what objective is. Okay. Now, if you have to frame your own resume, right? So how will you do it? In a chronological order, in a chronological format. I will share the format with you on the screen, and then you have to write your own resume. Can you make your own resume? You have only 5 minutes for this. I will have to stop screen sharing to see your responses. If you are done, I'll start. Yes, Palak, it's reaching to me. Testimonials? No, you don't. Education, of course, personal details, of course. Chronological. Nobody has sent till now. Only one person. That only personal details. Dipanshu Goyal. Cover letter similar to formal letter. Yes, kind of. When you basically attach it with your physical resume. So when you have to drop the copy of a hard copy to the office, then you of course write it in the format of formal letter. That is a cover letter. But if you're sending a resume through email, then you write it like a formal email. That's it. It is called cover letter because the content is related to resume and it goes with resume. That's why it is called cover letter. And in a lot of cases, you have to submit cover letters. So that's very important. Like, for example, when you are submitting your applications for visa, for passports, you write cover letter everywhere. Any kind of application form that you are submitting officially, you submit cover letter with that. That why you are sending it. Okay, let's go through the next format because I was waiting for you guys, but you have not sent it yet. Let's just start. Okay, look at the functional resume. Now, in the functional resume, again, you have your personal details first, which is your phone number, email, date of birth, address, right? Now, here, in personal details, either you can choose to put it on the top or you can put it in the end also, but your name has to come up only. Then your career objective is there. Seeking a challenging career with a progressive organization that provides an opportunity to utilize my technical skills and abilities in the field of information technology. Now, what are your technical skills? Now, in this kind of job, your technical skills are required. So, which is hardware troubleshooting, network troubleshooting, programming, Microsoft Office, and Adobe Creative Suite. Then comes the personal skills. If you see, excellent verbal communication, highly organized and efficient, ability to work independently or as a part of team, proven leadership skills and ability to motivate. Then comes the education part, achievement. pre-professional experience, which is like internship experiences, and then reference and declaration. Now, this is a resume of a very freshly out of the college student, right? Now, so this is a resume. Now, what is the difference between this resume and chronological resume? What do you think is the difference in the format? What is your observation about it? Within is a technical term that software engineers to troubleshoot required. Your system keeps saying, okay, the functional resume shows more of skills and what a candidate can do if it places more emphasis on skills rather than education qualification. Good. Skills are highlighted. Academic education is not. Good, Shuchiang. Sushiang. Yeah. G, I will not answer to your query. I won't answer. Okay, so now what is the difference between the functional and the chronological format? Now, in the functional format, basically, you place more importance of skills and accomplishments. The job titles and where you have worked before, that comes to the second importance. Now, this resume, every resume has their own purpose. Now, this is a skill-based resume, right? As the name suggests, functional. So, this resume basically showcases your skills are existing, and this is more suited for people who has gaps in their careers. Now, somebody who has a gap of 2 years or 1 year in their resume. Now, I'll tell you one more thing. Resumes, in the chronological especially, people see that if you had a career gap or not, because career gap is not considered good. You should not have a career gap. So in that case, they basically look, if you have a career gap, then that's not a good thing, right? So in that case, you can use a functional one, because that one's talking more about your skills and what you can do rather than talking about something else. Now, this is more ideal for fresh graduates, one, because they don't have any career or professional experience to show. So it's best suited for graduates, because this also tells more about their skills that they know about themselves, or somebody who's new, or somebody who's looking for a career change, or applying for a job with specific requirements and characteristics in mind. Are we clear? Now, so this resume is basically talking about more of skills than the job titles. In chronological, we talk about more of job titles rather than skills. Are we clear with both sorts of function, what sorts of formats? Dhruv, are you talking about the political party here? We're not having any political conversation. Good, Kaushiki. Good, Namanpreet. Very good. Now, if you have to choose functional resume for yourself, what will you write? What will you write about your skills? Now, for example, you've become CA. Let's just say you've become CA, now you're applying for a job in the Big Fours or any accounting firm, and you have to send a resume. So what will you write in your resume? First, you talk about your personal details, then you talk about the career objective, which you've already told me in the previous question. Quickly write down your technical skills and your personal skills. Just remember that you become a C already and you have to send the resume. Good, Anjali. So you're talking about working knowledge of Tally updated with latest computer applications, softwares, completed compulsory training of computers as per ICS schedule. Very good. It's a good attempt. Personal skills, good communication. Anjali, where are your personal skills? I am more interested in technical skills than your personal skills. Apurv, that's a good thing that you have written costing, tally accounting, management accounting, but you have to put it in your good sentences, like good phrases at least. For example, a good knowledge about costing, can access or can use tally efficiently, expertise in accounting or management accounting, something like that. You have to put it in like nice phrases. Chanchal. Chanchal, your technical skills are fine, but needs more of framing in terms of language. Okay, Sadap, that's also a good thing. Okay, so you have understood about chronological and the functional resumes. Any problems so far? Can we move on to the last part? Okay. Now in combination format, as the name suggests, this is a combination of functional plus chronological. Okay, now in this one, basically we talk about both. First, we have career objective, then we have summary of qualifications. Do you see that? You should always talk in the reverse order, which is BTech. In this case, there's only one degree. This person did not choose to write about class 10th and 12th, but it's always good to mention about your class 10th and 12th. Then you have overview of skills of experience acquired through training, employment experience. Am I clear? This has like everything, computer skills, references, and declaration. Are you clear about this? So this has basically your skills also, and this is about experience about your employment and what you have learned there also. Am I clear? This was easy. This just had skills and then employment experience. That's it. Nothing else. Now, why do we use this and when do we use this? Now, chronological is basically used. It has a sequential list of previous employment and education history. It also includes a focus on the skills, and this is the kind of resume which is best suited for people who want to highlight their employment history also. Now, this combination resume begins with functional format and finishes with information of employment history, which provide details of organization one has worked with. Okay. Now, regardless of which resume you choose, they must include much of the following information. This I'll come on later. First, are you clear with the combination resume? Now, this basically has mix of both, and I would prefer basically a combination resume, which basically tells everything to the employer about you as far as the job is concerned, right? Okay, now a few things that you should know out of 3 resumes that we have done, all 3 types. You tell me which are the things which are common, regardless of which resume you choose, which few things that you need to mention in every type of resume. Personal details, objective, very good. What else? Personal details, objective. What else is there regardless of which format you use? Personal details, address, contact information, skills, education qualifications, very good. Declaration. Yeah, so these things will be there regardless of what type of resume you choose. So basically contact information, your career profile, your work experience, your education, and your skills. These are the 5 things that will come regardless of what you choose, right? This is so basic. Contact information, career profile, work experience, education, and skills. Are we clear? Any problem so far with anyone? Anybody who needs more explanation about anything? Because I'm going to stop my class here. I'm like stop as in like teaching here, not I'm not going anywhere. So if you have any problem, you can ask me now. Any questions that you need to ask me, you can ask me now. And how much you understood about resume writing, do let me know. We still have about 7-8 minutes. So you tell me if you want me to repeat something, if you're clear with everything. Do sit peacefully after the class and do your SWOT analysis. That will really help you. Trust me. That will also help you to prepare for your exams. You can do SWOT analysis for small, short goals or long goals, whichever you want. Everything is clear. Saloni, SWOT analysis can be used in different ways. Okay. Basically, in a situation, you can judge what is your strength, what is your strengths, what are your opportunities. So anybody can do it. You can do it for your personal goals also. Himlata, you will be getting a question, and based on that, you have to write a resume. Like, for example, you get a character also that you are so and so, and you have seen a job post in so newspaper, so you have to send the resume to apply for the same position. So you basically write down the resume based on the question, and then you decide if they say that you're a student and you're looking for a job, then you pick up Saima, I give you time because this is a writing skill. This is not a grammatical topic or a vocabulary topic where I can just go on and on and on speaking, right? This is a topic wherein you also need time to see and understand and write down. This is why I take breaks. Had it been the chapter number 2 and 3, you would have not got even a single minute free because there's so much to, continuously keep talking about. Format of cover letter, we'll do it in the next class. Aprajita, I'll just take up that. Deepika, objective is basically your long-term objective about things. I want to be associated be part of your organization that would help me grow and progress in my career, right? Your company would give me a platform to grow and progress and, achieve something good for myself. So that is the kind of objective you need to mention. Sadaf, okay. SWOT analysis questions don't come in the exam. In the exam, you will be only asked to write a resume or a cover letter or both, but not SWOT analysis. This is just for your understanding. Then when you do it for your own self, when you make it for your own self resume, then what all you need to consider, how people actually make a resume. That's why we're teaching you that. And Aprajita, so your questions was related to Sakshi. Threats is something that can give you risk. What all things you can foresee that can create problems to achieve your goal? What are the problems? What all things you can foresee can happen that will avoid and that will not let you to reach to your personal goals? Reference is the Okay, I think I missed reference in one of the resume writing. Now, in some resumes, you have to give reference. Also, reference means number or name of two people whom your employer can call and check about you. So when you're in a senior position, Videhi had just explained about threat. Threat is a risk. What are problems you can foresee that can happen and come in your way to achieve your goal, that can stop you to achieve the goals? Reference is basically when you're applying for the job, some people ask you for the reference, which is they want to cross check with your previous employers that how were you at work, and what is the reason of you leaving that job. So sometimes what happens is that we get resume, and the person who's working somewhere else was a very good company. So employers don't understand that why you're leaving from that job. Like in the market, you hear that this is a very good company, they pay people very well. Now, if somebody is leaving from that company, there has to be a reason. And so, just to clear their doubts, the HR person or any person would call to the previous organization and check with them and why this person is leaving for you. I mean, I'm not saying if there's anything wrong in leaving the job and joining somewhere else. It just gives you more perspective. It helps you grow. You learn new things and new environments. But people just check, cross check. Vedehi, I just explained. It is a threat means risk. Risk. Aparajita. Aparajita CC is basically the carbon copy when you send the same email to more people, and they all know what is happening in the project. Everybody can see who all has received the email, right? Now, for example, A sends the email to B and marks or sends CC it to C and D also. Then everybody knows that if all of them have read the email and they know. BCC is when you don't want the others to know who else has got the email. Like, for example, in case of marketing emails, you don't want to share your data, your clients with everybody else, right? So you send the same emails to A and B and also send it to C. So you don't want B to know about C and C to know about B. Clear? All right, everyone. So I'll see you on Tuesday now, and then we'll finish this topic and we'll go to another topic. But in the meantime, please go and practice and see about your SWOT analysis and try to make your own resume also. That will actually help you and give you a practice. All right, bye-bye. I hope you had a good session and you enjoyed today's class. I know I take a lot of breaks, but that's only because this is a writing skill. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.